Hi everyone, Joe Von Hill. Today I'm out on the Natchez Parkway just south of Tupelo, Mississippi at an area called the Black Belt Overlook. Just up the hill here is a interpretive sign where you can pull off the road and read about the Black Belt Prairie. At this overlook, it looks out into the distance, which right now at this area you can't see because there are trees behind me, but you could see ag fields and what should have been Blackland Prairie here in the foreground. For years, this was in an ag lease with the Park Service. They let someone lease the land and cut hay off of it twice a year to kind of keep the land open, and it was a little source of income for the Park Service. Park Service, I think, is trying to do away with some of that, but I always thought it would be really cool if that Black Belt Overlook, if you actually overlooked some Blackland Prairie, some true Black Belt Prairie. Now, this field always had a decent amount of prairie dock and Illinois bundleflower and little blue stem, things like that in it. And but it still has a high proportion of Johnson grass, like you see here, fescue, stuff like that. But across the road, behind a veil of cedars, was actually some really nice prairie that John Barone and I did some cedar removal projects on a year ago. So I thought it'd be really cool to try to restore some prairie on this side of the road so that people pulling off at the overlook would be able to see some actual Black Belt Prairie. And at the same time, I'd been doing studies looking at how native ant diversity and abundance was positively correlated with native plant abundance and diversity, and also fire ants, which are an invasive species. Their abundance decreased with native plant cover. So I was hoping by increasing the plant cover, native plant cover and diversity, we could increase the population of native ants. So I set up an experiment out here. I had treatment and control plots. Treatment plots, I seeded in a really diverse mix of native species and also planted plugs in here, some grasses and some of the native plants also. So what I'm standing in right now is one of my control plots. I actually came back out here. I hadn't set foot out here in 10 years. I actually abandoned the project because life changed and my job changed, things like that. So this is the first time I've actually been out here after I've seeded these plots. But my pipe is still in the ground, my corner plot's here. But you can see this control plot where I didn't plant anything still's got Johnson grass. Walk out in it and you can still see there's lots of little blue stem. We got some prairie dock, some panicum, some other things, but in general, this is kind of what these plots look like. Not a lot of diversity, still pretty good native plant cover. But if you look behind me at this higher structure, that was one of my treatment and control plots. Coming through here and actually somewhere around here. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see it down there is my other corner post. And you get out in here, we can see we got Indian grass coming up, got some rattlesnake master, prairie coneflower. We got a lot of liatris back in here, whole bunch of it. Rough leaf goldenrod. That's a really good one for some native insect species. Illinois bundleflower. More rattlesnake master. Just a lot of cool stuff coming up in here. And then looking back behind me is another treatment plot or another control plot, which looks like it has lower abundance again. So just wanted to show, like, dang, here's some Indian grass, some that you can get out here and augment sort of these natural working lands and really pump up that diversity. It's making me want to come back and think about redoing that ant study again, because I did collect the pre-treatment data. Now I really want to come back and see what the ant fauna is doing in relation to these treatments. Wow, look at that big rattlesnake master back there in the background. That's cool. Anyway, just thought I'd share this with y'all. Joe Von Hill from the Black Belt Prairie of Mississippi.